I'm Kenji Oguro, the director of Lost Planet 2. We've worked hard at adding a lot of new things and changing a lot of things for Lost Planet 2 and creating a game that is on a completely different scale than Lost Planet 1. I guess the biggest reason that we decided to add in 4-player co-op for Lost Planet 2 was the requests and the opinions we had gotten from the fans. We got so many people who played the first game and loved the online battle but wished they had been able to play a similar game cooperatively in the campaign mode. And actually at the same time, we ourselves on the development team had exactly the same opinion. We thought that, co-op in the first game would have been a great addition, having seen how well the online battle came about in the finished product. The addition of the customizable character really adds a whole nother dimension to the gameplay. Every player is able to create their own customizable character, choose what weapons they want to play with in the game, and that really deepens that kind of situation where every time you play through the game you're having a different experience, and when you play with different people your experience changes. Rather than the story being directly related to the events of Lost Planet 1, what we've tried to preserve and expand on in Lost Planet 2 is the world that the game takes place in, EDN 3. And we wanted to show how that world has changed as a result of the global warming that began at the end of Lost Planet 1. We will be preserving all of the things that were great about the universe of Lost Planet in this game and expanding on all of those concepts. One of the things we've tried to explore in Lost Planet 2 is the idea of having bosses that you can attack in many different ways. Each boss that appears in the game will have multiple ways that you'll be able to take it down. One thing that you could do is the idea that you could go into the boss's body itself and fight it from the inside. We've also tried to expand on the idea that bosses will be different and allow you to do many different things when you're playing in co-op that you couldn't do in single player. If you're playing in single player, you can only experience one of those situations at a time. Either you're outside the boss or you're inside the boss. But when you're playing in co-op, you'll be able to see how having one player inside the boss's body attacking it will have an effect on what's happening outside the boss. Lost Planet 2 is the first game to employ the new version of Capcom's internal engine, and this is now version 2.0 that we're using in this game. The version 1 series of the MT Framework engine has been used in multiple Capcom Next Generation titles, from Dead Rising all the way up to Resident Evil 5, but we had come up against the limits of what we were able to do with that engine. We decided it was time to go back to the drawing board and create a brand new version. You can look forward to finding out a lot more about Lost Planet 2 at this year's E3. We will have a lot of new information that we'll be bringing to users, and we'll also be having a playable version of some of the areas that we showed off here. I hope to see you at E3.